preparing to meet with those different stakeholders that will be assessing the situation in that part of KZN. In the meantime, Siphamandla, you've been speaking to community members and watching as they try to salvage whatever it is that they can amongst all the disaster.
Absolutely, we are in Mariannhill. That's where we've seen community members trying to rebuild their lives. My colleague Mlungisi will come with me as we show you these community members of Mariannhill here. They are busy trying to look for a missing 7-year-old teenage girl. She was washed away when she was sleeping with her grandmother. The grandmother's body was found 2 days later. The girl is still missing here. Relatives, family members, including the mother, they have taken matters in their own hands here, trying to look for a missing teenager, or a missing girl rather, because they say they cannot fold their arms and wait for the authorities and search and rescue missions here so that they can be able to be assisted. We'll try and have a word with the aunt and the family member of a missing girl here, but Mlungisi will show you community members here assisting relatives of the missing girl here to look for her, because this is one of the stories that we've been witnessing across KwaZulu-Natal. Yesterday I visited Inanda, Umzinyathi. We saw a similar situation where community members are helping themselves because they are saying sometimes it takes long for authorities to reach them, and they say in the meantime they cannot just sit and watch. They need to start helping themselves. Masiyabonga kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho. Mhlambe mawungakhuluma nathi njengelungu lomndeni usilandise kwenzekeni la ekhaya ngesikhathi kumoka ugogo nondodakazi lo ongakatholakala.
Kwaqala ebusuku ngabo 10 imvula engathi yaqinisa kancane sethi singasikhonto eqhumayo entabeni lapha phezulu mayiqhuma lento entabeni kwasi ngabo past 10 ke ila kwaqala khona ke sesiyaphuma segogo semukile umxhasa usekho wonke umuzi ila saqala khona ukubona manje kwasi ngolesipile kusenza bheka asitholanga lutho sasamthola ngolesithathu untambama ugogo umntwana ngoba namanje asimtholi kodwa samthola lezansi ngaseduze kumfula umlazi river.
Ngicela futhi ukuhamba kancane siphenduke nje sijike sishone ezantsi Umlungisi will lead us in terms of going. Ngicela usitshengise la uthi ugogo wami ukawabheka ngakhona sisiwami ongathi cha sizoma la eduze ngeke siye kude nje. We'll try and show you the devastation here and our viewers the devastation. This is where the floods were just wreaking havoc, going all the way down. The lady telling us ukuthi ugogo namthola kuphi le ngasezantsi.
Samthola le phansi emadamini phansi nazi ihlahle zengathi yellow lezayipheshe sayithola samthola ngakhona ke kugogo ke ihambe godla yonke lemizi le yonke lemizi wasashona le phansi ezantsi.
Manje njoba nimba la nibhekane nibheka undodakazi.
Manje wasimba lana khona umama ozwe iphunga sikhona iphunga elikhona basondela abantu nangempela balizwe iphunga likhona lona iphunga basabheka ukuthi ngabakena nomntwana into eyinkinga ukuthi ugogo wanene inkukhu sazi noma inkukhu noma uyena nomntwana.
Usizo kodwa kwabezime eziphuthumayo nabezokutakula niyalithola namaphoyisa.
Asimasuze salithola izolo usizo kufika enyinja eyodwa bese kulethi nakhona beku 4:10 yanuka lapha egcekeni kancane yasiyasha kwathiwa isikhathele futhi bisishayisile bathi ishayisa ngo3 ngokomsebenzi wayo manje sikhathele bathi bayahamba bazobuya namhlanje ngoba khona izinja eziphuma eMpumalanga ezizosebenza ikona kuphela sakutholile okunye asithosa silethelwa ngisho izinto sibamba umoya sihleli nje kanje sihlala komakhelwane.
Iluphi usizo nelidinga kakhulu?
Usizo esudinga kakhulu manje ukuthi sicela nje sibaqhamuke mhlawumbe sithole lezi zinja ngempela sithole umntwana esemdinga kakhulu nanokuthi inkinga esinayo ukuthi ugogo umzimba wakhe emele ubuke phela uze la ekhaya asinayo indawo yokumbeka asazi sombeka maybe because uzihamba yongcwatshwa ngakusasa. Sinaleyo nkinga leyo ukhona masingcwabisana inkinga umzimba wakhe mawubuya ngolesihlanu uzolala asitholi ngisho itente. Kufuze singathona noma yitende nalento yezinja singajabula ukuthi sithole umzimba womntwana. Yebo.
Emoyeni nasemphefumulweni. Ngikhahlamazeke.
Siyayidinga mhlawumbe into bathi yini ikhathi sangifunda kodwa siyayidinga ukuthi uyicancel because ingane ezinye ziyathuka si-traumatize enye ingane iphuka umgogodla phuka unyawo lele kamakhelwane izenzela yona yonke into. Siyadinga ukuthi sikhanceliswe kancane sisizwe ngomqondo.
Njoba lina nje kuvuka imjunju
ikuvunjwa lina kanjena nje kufika amamisi ukuthi kuzophinde kwenzeke lokho futhi isho ebusuku asilala ubusuku siyasaba sicela mnanko umuzitala kona uphezulu entabeni nawo ngokwawo siyasaba. yebo.
Siyabonga kakhulu asithembe iphathimandla sizomtholela usizo lokululeka ngokwenqondo. Basically the aunt they're explaining to us the situation, how ugogo was washed away. I'm not sure if we still have time. If we do, we will take a walk down here to show you the devastation, the amount and the extent of the devastation. If we are out of time, of course we'll continue later on, but let me bring in another important element which I consider to be important, is that I've spotted what looks like an army helicopter here flying around Mariannhill. That will be a relief to many people because there have been growing calls for the military to step in and help out here. President Cyril Ramaphosa visiting KwaZulu-Natal, confirming that members of the SANDF will be deployed to various parts of the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So I've spotted what I consider and what looks to me to be a military chopper, and of course that will come as a relief to many residents here because many roads and bridges are inaccessible, and people have been calling on the army to be deployed to assist the flood victims. Yes, the number of those who have died stands at 395 currently, with many still missing. President Ramaphosa saying KwaZulu-Natal will be allocated R1 billion for now to be able to recover from this disaster, which is regarded as one of the worst, not only KwaZulu-Natal, but in South Africa as a whole. So this is devastation. Look at this devastation here. Someone who was in here, surely, when he or she looks at this, is saying, I'm lucky to be alive. More people didn't make it out. Others were washed away. Bafethu sanibona ninjani? Sikhona. Kukwabani isibongo la ekhaya? Okay, la ngaphakathi. Okay. Kumonakalo omkhulu la madoda siyabona kube kunzima impela. Okay, kulungile. Well, basically look at this here. Community members and those who survived trying to rebuild their lives here. Water was going all the way down here, and the lady we interviewed earlier on was telling us that the body of their grandmother was found in the river further down where we are. So she was washed away going all this way down. That's just, you can imagine how traumatic it must have been for the family to finally recover the body.
No, absolutely, Sipha, and I think we're going to stay on your visuals for a little longer because, I mean, these are shocking visuals of homes that have been completely destroyed by the flooding that's happened over the last few days. I mean, just looking at the devastation, it's clear that community members will not be able to rebuild their lives on their own. It's going to be a welcome decision or a welcome step taken by government to deploy the South African National Defence Force, as you've just mentioned, because this is going to be one big task.
Absolutely going to be one big task, but my worry and my fear is that it will take time to fully understand the extent of the damage here, because for now it's touch and go. The response has all been about helping those who lost their loved ones and those who are still missing, of which is a good thing to do. But let me tell you that after this, then you will have to deal with quantifying the cost, because no one is fully aware of the magnitude of this disaster. President Cyril Ramaphosa saying it's one of the worst disasters in the country. If you look at the extent of the damage, and also the fact that, including us as the media, we've been unable to access many areas across KwaZulu-Natal that have been badly affected, that tells you that it's bigger than what you see even on the news, because we would love to go to all the areas that have been affected. For instance, it took us about 2 hours to get to an area known as Indwedwe because the bridge there was washed away. Usually from eThekwini to Indwedwe, it takes about, a maximum of 30 minutes, but it took us a very long time. We'll walk back up so that we await the arrival of AmaZulu King, Misuzulu Kazwelithini, Patrice Motsepe, KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikalala, eThekwini Mayor Mxolisi Kaunda, who are visiting this. And I guess that's where the issue of the role of the private sector comes in, because all those who lost their loved ones say they will not be able to carry the burial costs. Imagine if you have a situation whereby you lost 10 members of your family, like the Mdlalose family in Umzinyati, 10 members, 6 still missing, 4 bodies were found. How do you bury 10 people at once? Or how do you even begin to prepare for a funeral of 4 people? So it will require more financial assistance, but most importantly, like the lady we interviewed was telling us earlier on, counseling and psychological help, because now with these rains coming back this weekend in KwaZulu-Natal, many people have anxiety now. The minute it rains, it triggers what happened. If you have not found the body of your loved one, you have just witnessed these floods, and then the rain comes back, obviously it will trigger that anxiety. So across KwaZulu-Natal, it's devastation and death everywhere. However, it will take time to fully understand and grasp the extent of the damage.
No, absolutely. But what we can see from the visuals that you're providing to us at the moment, Siphamandla, this damage is far beyond what any of us can imagine. And it's going to take a lot of commitment for government to help with the rebuilding of these particular communities. Siphamandla, I'll let you make your way back up there and wait for the different people, part of the delegation that will be arriving hopefully soon. And we will catch up with you as those developments happen with the arrival of the King, the Mutsipe family, and of course provincial government officials.